News 4 Jax starts right now with a breaking news alert.
Dozens are dead, scores injured. It's a coordinated terror attack in Brussels. The Belgian Prime Minister calling this a dark day.
We were fearing terrorist attacks, and that has now happened. In Zaventem Airport and at a metro station in Brussels.
Breaking within the past hour, an Islamic State group now claiming responsibility for the terror attacks in Brussels. A widely circulated Twitter post among ISIS supporters threatens what will be coming is worse. Here is the latest. At least 31 are dead, more than 170 injured. The Mormon Church now confirms 3 of the injured are U.S. missionaries. The 2 airport blasts, at least one of them has been blamed on a suicide bomber. Belgium raised its terror alert to the highest level, diverting planes and trains. Airports across Europe immediately tightened security. 2 explosions took place at the airport. One blast happened outside a security checkpoint, the other near a check-in counter. About an hour later, another inside a metro station near what's called the European Quarter, where much of the European Union is housed. News 4 Jax has complete coverage of this breaking news story. Jennifer Waugh is following raids going on right now. And Jen, European Union leaders are pledging to tackle the terrorism threat with all necessary means. They pledge to be united.
Yeah, in fact, right now also, Bruce, we certainly know that there are several homes that are being raided as well. No word how many at this point, and that's because local media in the city are not broadcasting any information about those raids as a courtesy to investigators who worry that that information might allow the accomplices in this terror attack to get away. We have also learned that the second airport attack involved a bomb likely left in a suitcase. That's because a reporter visiting some of the hospitals where the injured were rushed to, well, he says that many of the wounds involved nails and severe cuts from glass to legs and feet, certainly supporting the theory that one of the explosions involved something that was on the ground like a bag or a suitcase. A nuclear plant was also evacuated. No word why. Perhaps, though, as a precaution, since investigators have said it is possible more attacks could come in the hours ahead, as Bruce mentioned. A witness has said that the 2 blasts at the airport were less than 2 minutes apart. Take a look at this video. It shows just those chilling moments right after one of the airport explosions. And if you'll look very closely here on the left, and it just breaks your heart. And as a mother, I mean, you see a stroller and 2 people who are not moving. You can see all the smoke, people in shock. Listen, if you will, to the woman in the background here. She's screaming, asking for help, just wailing. Now, another view that we also have, which is another part of the airport, you know, one of those explosions was so intense that it actually brought down the ceiling. We know that one attack happened at the Swiss counter where oversized bags are checked, and another one happened at a Starbucks cafe. Both of those areas are outside the security gate. President Obama, speaking from Cuba, is now urging the world to stand united.
Thoughts and the prayers of the American people are with the people of Belgium, and we stand in solidarity with them in condemning these outrageous attacks against innocent people.
Now, the explosion at the subway, certainly very near, in case you're not familiar with that area, the European Union's headquarters. It happened at the height of the morning rush hour. No doubt was not an accident that it happened at that time. Belgium's prime minister says what we feared has happened, as you heard. And now that ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attacks, investigators no doubt will be working to confirm if what happened today was retaliation for last Friday's arrest in Brussels of the accused mastermind of the Paris attacks. Bruce?
All right, Jen, just in, Brussels airport CEO says that the airport will remain closed through Wednesday. There are also unconfirmed reports from CNN that investigators found a blast belt and also some abandoned rifles there at the airport. Meantime, security at airports not only across the nation but around the world have stepped up their presence in response to the terror attack in Brussels, and the U.S. Embassy's issued a travel warning to Americans overseas. Nikki, earlier this morning, you spoke with people at Jacksonville International. What did they tell you?
Well, Bruce, you know, we only found people who were traveling within the U.S., but they were still very nervous about the attacks. You know, one woman who flies every week says that she would really like to see tighter TSA guidelines, though she realizes, you know, that may not protect against suicide bombers or anything that happened in this case when they're not necessarily trying to get on an airplane, but maybe looking for places with a lot of people. Now, let's talk about those Americans who are currently in Brussels right now. Here's what the U.S. Embassy is telling them, recommending everyone in the area of the explosions just try and find shelter and that they avoid all public transportation. Again, Belgium is at the threat rating level of 4. That is the highest, and that means that there is a threat of a serious or imminent attack that can take place with little or no notice. That's what the definition is. Now, Americans that are in Brussels are urged to follow police instruction, be aware of their surroundings. Also, here's how other countries close by are reacting. France increasing security at all airports, train stations, metros, British airports doing the same exact thing. Now, this comes as Prime Minister David Cameron convenes an emergency committee. Cameron says Britain would, quote, do everything that they can to help. Bruce?
In Florida, Governor Rick Scott posted their reactions to attacks on social media. Melanie joins us now with their reaction. Mel.
Well, you know, social media always blows up in time of distress. Rick Scott, our governor, in fact, tweeted this: thoughts and prayers with the victims and their families in Brussels today. Thankful for our military and law enforcement for keeping us safe. We also heard from Donald Trump. He made some appearances on national television today, giving his opinion on what happened. He tweeted this: do you all remember how beautiful and safe a place Brussels was? Not anymore. It is from a different world. U.S. must be vigilant and smart. Hillary Clinton, the Democratic candidate, also weighing in, saying these terrorists seek to undermine the democratic values that are the foundation of our way of life. They will never succeed, and there's her signature H. John Kasich also releasing a statement, in part, along with every American, I am sickened by the pictures of the carnage, by the injuries, and by the loss of life. And Ted Cruz weighing in, very short and simple, something I think so many people can relate to. Our hearts break for the men and women of Brussels this morning. So again, a lot of people expressing themselves on social media, also noting that Facebook alerted and they started their safety check so that if you know someone there, they can check in and you can check to make sure that they are safe. Bruce, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mel. We'll continue to follow this developing story. Remember, as new information filters in, we'll keep you up to date here on the morning show and on news4jax.com. Remember to turn the push notifications on our News4Jax app so you can get immediate updates throughout the day. Learning more about